po, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat, to the teaching and non-teaching staff of Pangasinan State University, specifically the Lingayen campus. I am Ashley Valdez. Very privileged to be sharing with you my faith journey. I'm very excited because I know that the God I'll be talking about today is the God who has been faithful in my life, who has held me throughout these years. I know He is the same God who will just really bless you, who is holding you, who loves you, and who is faithful to you as well.
Ever since I was younger, I've always been an anxious child. There were so many thoughts and feelings going on inside my head that I felt other people couldn't quite understand. I had felt like I do not quite belong. If you'll notice my childhood pictures, they show me either pouting, crying, zoning out, making sure I was near someone, especially my mom, or even when I would smile, my eyes would be what my friends call the anxious eyes. I've always also felt the desire to do well in academics, at work, and in whatever activity or project I would engage in. I craved and worked hard for control. Most of my years, though, were immersed in a kind of restlessness, disquiet, and darkness that I couldn't quite wrap my head around. As early as first year college, I was already taking in antidepressants, and soon after, clinically, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. My mental state took a toll on my body, my mind, and my relationships, especially my vertical relationship with God. I had been a skeptic for quite some time, as I was and still am a very cognitive person. I have always believed in the power of the mind and convinced myself that I had succeeded to some extent in achieving, in understanding the world, in coping and managing with my mental illness. I was convinced that I did not need God to thrive in life. I was convinced that as long as I was a good person and worked hard to be a good person, I would enjoy what they would call eternal life. I would heavily rely on information that my mind can digest, information that makes sense to me. Thus, I have been combative in questioning and debating and putting down the beliefs and the people who had attempted to minister and share to me the gospel and good news of Christ. These were people I worked with. At work, I was surrounded by individuals who have such moving testimonies and who profess their faith so boldly and courageously. I would intentionally seek out conversations and metaphorically pin them to a corner and do a sheepish inside smile when they couldn't answer my questions about the Lord. With the strength of the Lord in these people, however, they were tireless in loving me and praying for me.
Thank you so much, for waiting. Wow. Yeah. And thank you for saying yes, for agreeing to our invite to be one of our guests sa Wellness Bitz episode. Ayan. So for our third episode, this will be about spiritual wellness. I will throw in my first question. Wow.
Yes.
A little bit intrusive yung mga questions, no?
It's okay.
Tell us about your life-changing experience.
Okay. Actually, pag tinatanong ng mga tao to, sobrang nahihirapan akong sagutin. Parang very difficult. Not because I don't know what to say, pero I feel like the experience is so, wide, na every time I try to describe it, I feel like I will always fall short. Kasi even if I explain it, parang after a while, ma-realize ko na, wait lang, parang hindi ko na-measure up yung gravity ng experience na yon. Parang ganon. So, but, pag specifics kasi, pag pumunta tayo sa specifics, sobrang dami talaga. Sobrang dami. But I cannot point to a particular, like I said in the video, I can't point to a particular date or time na parang, ito yung nagbago lahat, parang ganun. I feel like it was a gradual change. Yeah, hindi, but I would always describe it as the Lord and Jesus really pursuing me.
Okay.
That there is really a relentless pursuit of people. Parang ganon.
Wow, relentless pursuit. What do you mean by that? Like,
Parang,
were you searching for?
what? Sorry?
Searching for? What were you pursuing before?
Ah, kung kasi parang, um, yun yung, I think, life-changing thing sa akin. Kasi parang, you know how, I believe that in our hearts, in everybody's hearts, we are all, sabi nga nila, there is a God-sized space in our hearts that can only be filled by God. It's a God-sized space nga. But I feel like in our pursuit of this to fill in the space, what was life-changing for me is that I wasn't just the one pursuing it pala. The Lord was also the one pursuing me. So, the Lord pursues you as a person. So, hindi siya yung parang nakaupo lang, hinihintay ka niya na, sige, punta ka sa akin, parang gano'n. But He's not really pursuing you and trying to, you know, reach you also.
Pero Miss Ash, like, kailangan ba na, alam mo yun, may big event sa buhay mo? Like, for example, like, compromised health, loss of job, loss of a loved one, breakups. Kailangan ba may mga ganong, you know, talaga
event.
Babalik ta rin yung belief, faith, soul, heart mo para malaman mo na, oh, God is pursuing.
Yeah. You know what? It's so funny that you asked that. Kasi, before when I wasn't in the faith yet, sobrang skeptic ko nga. Like, sobrang skeptic ko talaga. Like, I didn't believe at all. Tapos, nagtataka ako kasi every time people will share their testimonies, sobrang naiinis ako na bakit laging sad story? Na bakit hindi ba pwedeng i-pursue ka ni Lord or hindi ka ba pwedeng maging faithful na okay lang yung buhay mo? Parang gano'n, diba? So, parang naiinis ako, bakit laging sad stories yung mga sinasabi ng tao? So, but, I realized that in my own experience that I wouldn't categorically answer that question with a yes or a no. But I would say that the Lord knows you so well that He knows how to pursue you. And if it needs na how to pursue you is a loss of something to get your attention, He will do it. Pero parang if hindi naman, like parang for me, it wasn't a loss of something. It didn't occur like that. So, pero when I was in the faith already, madami namang sufferings also. Pero hindi siya yung prior. Hindi yun yung nangyari sa akin before I surrendered my life to Him. So, parang hindi. So, I think it depends on how the Lord designed you, how the Lord knows you. He knows you too well eh. So, alam niya kung paano. So, for me, I think He knows na since skeptic ako na, bakit kailangan sad story? Hindi naman niya ganon ako kinatch. But I would also like to emphasize that sometimes kasi it is in purging. Kailangan natin ma-prune, kailangan natin maalis. Maalis yung mga certain things in our life that are not aligned with Him. Kasi this is what I always tell people. The heart, kunyari, there's a space in your heart. And if that space in your heart is occupied by something else, God cannot sit in that space.
Can you give me very practical or particular things that occupy usually heart?
Okay. Kunyari, syempre I won't talk for everybody, so I'll just draw from my experience. I really love writing. I really, really love writing. So, parang the gift of words to me, sobrang, my greatest fear before was not being able to write. So, sobrang takot ako na mawalan ako ng words, parang ganon. Tapos, it became sort of where I built my identity. pag may birthday, kunyari yung isang friend ko, talagang bubonggahan ko yung letter, ganyan. So, sometimes, ang nangyari, people also already sort of attached it to me. Parang, ayan si Ashley, so words yan. Tapos may mga friends ako na pag hindi ako nagbo-birthday greeting, feeling nila hindi ko sila mahal. Parang gano'n. So, parang naging identity ko siya. And then, ito, one of really like, what happened to me last year, marami kasi akong mga health concerns. So, last year, what happened was, hindi ko alam bakit, but, bigla ako nag-pass out one day. Tapos nawalan ako ng ability to talk and to write. Literally. Like, wala talaga. I couldn't write. I couldn't talk. Sa utak ko, alam ko yung gusto kong sabihin. Pero somehow,
Regular, etong oral talaga na.
oo. Yeah. Pero nakakaintindi naman ako. Parang sinasabi, parang I want to say kunyari na masakit yung ulo ko. Pero ang lalabas lang is ganon.
Anong diagnosis?
Ito yung weird. All my tests were negative of anything. Cleared lahat ng tests ko. So parang, tapos I had an ICU scare. They had to put me in the ICU kasi kailangan nila akong i-observe. Kasi baka may tumor sa brain or whatsoever. So, pero wala naman. All my scans were okay. And then, that happened the whole night. And then, I was in the hospital for a week. Kasi kailangan akong i-observe, ganyan. Tapos, after that week kasi, I was supposed to be baptized that week. So, hindi na natuloy kasi nasa hospital nga ako doon. Tapos, yung week after nun was Holy Week. Tapos, nag-reflect akong ganun. Mas na-realize ko lang na, what if nagtuloy-tuloy siya? Like, what if hindi na talaga ako nakasalita? Tapos, sobrang umiiyak ako nun kasi parang, tapos doon ko na-realize na in-attach ko yung identity ko with my ability to write. So, tapos, tinanong ko sarili ko, okay, what if nagtuloy-tuloy siya? Sino ka na? And pag ganun kasi, mahihirapan ka if you attach your identity, kunyari, ikaw yung best teacher, ikaw yung best employee, kunyari, ng PSU, ganyan. Okay. Tapos, the next day, kunyari, hindi na ikaw. O ano lang mangyayari, right? So, ibig sabihin, I learned to build my identity on something that will last. And the only thing that will last for you is to build your identity on Christ. Kasi siya yung hindi magbabago eh. So, parang particular event lang yon in my life na kinailangan kong alisin and make Jesus sit talaga on that throne. One-off lang. Pero syempre madami sa atin. If finances, kunyari, sobrang ang security mo nasa pera.
Sa work.
Oo, sa work, friends, family, ganyan. So
Even
there.
even relationships.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so what's your life's philosophy, prior and during or even after, let's say, life-changing, culminating or event, series of events?
Yeah, I like that series of events. Siguro, I'm a very kasi, di ba, ito, siguro hindi nila alam, classmates tayo nung, batchmates tayo nung college. I'm a very cognitive person kasi.
Very smart.
But, actually, pag sasabihin ko, when I say that I'm parang ang cognitive person, ang pinanggagalingan ko is, I'm very amazed by the capacity of the brain. Not just my brain, but everybody's brain in general. Sobrang amazed ako sa pwedeng gawin ng mga utak natin. Yun. So, in my life, I felt the desire to strive because I wanted to prove to myself that the brain is everything I thought it was talaga. Not just my brain. Like I said, kaya sobrang amazed ako sa mga creative stuff, mga ganyan. Basta, I was really so amazed by the brain. And, siguro, because of that, naniwala ako sa mga tipong you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it. Ganyan. Yung
Yeah.
mga ganun na saying. Not that it isn't true, ha? To a certain extent, totoo naman yun. Ha?
Even mind over matter.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Mga ganon. Oh. And siguro, I shared it in the video. It also has an effect dun sa psychological state ko. Kasi, as I shared, I've always been an anxious child. Sobrang anxious ko talaga nung bata ako to the point na hindi ako makakaalis ng bahay na yung hands ko kailangan nakaganyan sa tenga ko. Naglalakad ako ganyan.
Mhm.
And then, I remember one time, just to put it into context, nanonood ako ng Popeye sa Cartoon Network. Tapos yung episode na yon, may mga termites na kinain na yung bahay ni Popeye at saka yung tomato niya.
Mhm.
So, sabi ko sa mama ko, bakit nila kinain?
Mhm.
As sabi ng nanay ko, kasi termites yan. They feed on wood.
Mhm.
Tapos ewan ko, pinagtagpi siguro ng utak ko. Sabi ko, saan gawa yung bahay natin? Tapos sabi ng nanay ko, sa kahoy. Tapos sobrang takot talaga ako nun. As in, parang ang tagal ko silang kinukulit na ipasimento yung bahay namin. Kasi natakot ang mawala. And siguro for them, it was something that I can outgrow. Kasi siguro sa kanila normal lang naman kasi children are very inquisitive, ganyan, di ba? But I think people didn't really realize how grave the effect on you, the fear, gaano kalalim yung fear, gaano kalalim yung anxiety. And yun nga, like I shared, in college, I was already taking antidepressants, anti-anxiety drugs, and then clinically, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder na. But because I was so amazed by the brain, I thought na kaya kong paraanan lahat. So you can do it, you can heal yourself, you can overcome that, ganyan. So every time I do something, kailangan gawin ko, at yung striving, sobrang lala. Kailangan maayos lahat. Pero kasi it becomes so tiring. Sobrang nakakapagod yung ganun, di ba? As in. So, one of the mind-boggling things that I came to realize when I came to the faith was that, alam mo, yung parang na-scam ako. Kasi parang sa faith pala, with Jesus, you don't need to strive. I mean, hindi mo kailangan maging ganito para mahalin ka. Hindi mo kailangan maging ganito para maging successful ka. So, parang all my life, hindi ko, shucks, na-scam pala ako. Yung kinailangan ko mag-strive, kinailangan ko paraanan lahat. When in fact, the truth is, I don't have to. So, parang ngayon, before, kunyari, yung mga tanong ko, what do I need to do? O, who shall I be? Ano bang gusto mo, Ashley? Di ba, mga ganon. Pero ngayon, I don't ask myself those questions. I ask myself, or I ask the Lord, Lord, what do you want me to do? Lord, what do you want me to be?
Yung answer ni God.
Ano, no?
Paano ko malalaman na yun yung answer ni God? Na sumasagot siya?
This is, alam mo, before, every time people will tell me na, sabi ni Lord sa akin ganito, ganyan. Natatawa ako kasi iniisip ko, paano naman kinakausap ni Lord yung mga tao? But, prayer also is not just a one-way thing. Diba? It's not just you speaking. It's also you listening. Right? And there are so many ways by which God can speak to you. Pero I think, I'm not sure if this is, but like I said, I'm just talking about my experience. It also depends on the intimacy you have with Christ and with the Lord. Kasi in any other relationship, kunyari, halimbawa tayo, di ba hindi tayo masyadong close, kunwari, di malay ko ba kung di ba, I don't know what you're thinking, I don't know what you're saying, ganyan. So it depends. You have to to be in that position where you're intimate enough with the Lord to be able to really know that it is Him who is speaking. I cannot think of a very a very a one size fits all kind of thing.
Ash,
But sige,
Ash,
go.
when you're talking about intimate relationship with God, are you referring to, attending masses, practicing religious practices,
Yeah.
or attending to Bible study? How is it to be intimate with God?
Course, there are different spiritual disciplines that can help us be intimate with the Lord.
How about
Diba?
your personal
Personal ko, I cannot do away with prayer. I cannot do away with prayer. I cannot do away with hindi pwedeng hindi ako magbabasa ng Bible because the Lord, it's God's word, the Bible. So, there are so many decisions in my life na alam ko na kinonfirm ni Lord through His word, through the Bible. And it's something that I know people will experience. Yung halimbawa, you have a question and then nagbasa ka. The Spirit will move and you will know. You just really know that it's the Lord. Kasi sabi nga ni Lord, di ba? My sheep hear my voice and they know me. Okay? That's the assurance of the Lord. My sheep hear my voice and they know me. So you will know.
Yes.
You
So,
will know.
in a nutshell, Ash, so before you were more of cognitive person, but
Yeah.
you're
I think I'm still cognitive, but it's more I'm no longer the driver of my life.
wow.
I'm more dati kasi cognitive, kaya ko to. Ako yung magsasabi saan ako pupunta, mga ganyan. But it's
Surrender.
more yeah, exactly. Yeah, surrendering. Throwing the question to the Lord. And usually some people kasi it's very disembodying and imprisoning yung hindi ikaw yung may control sa buhay mo. But for me, I realized as per experience, hindi siya. It's very liberating and freeing to surrender your life to somebody to God, to somebody who knows you better than yourself and who knows so many things that you don't know. Because God is already in your tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yung pupuntahan mo, andun na siya. So there are so many things you don't know that He knows. So it's very liberating to surrender your life to Him, knowing that He is for you and not against you.
Yeah. Romans
Yes.
chapter 8, verse 31.
Yes. Yes.
What is your daily miracle, Ash? How do we look for it? Like, for example, alam mo, kunwari you're in distress, you're in murk.
Yeah.
How can I find my daily miracle?
For me kasi I don't have to look far in order to find a miracle. I just have to look in the mirror and see myself because I people who know me just really know how much I don't want this naman to sound good, pero it's different kasi I feel really like a different person. So alam nila I was super lost before talaga, as in sobra. So I don't have to look far. And if you're a very scientific person, there's a quote I really love. It's called the thermodynamic miracles. Thermodynamic miracles, events so odd, again, so astronomical, they're effectively impossible. Okay? Like turning air to gold. And ito yung sinabi na sa thermodynamic miracle, scientific-wise, no? Millions of sperm, okay, will raise, okay, to fertilize that one single egg that is you. Grabe naman yung the possibility, the probability is so miraculous na it's like turning air to gold. So I think it's a matter really of perspective, knowing that alam mo, this pandemic, itong pandemic talaga iba yung nagawa sa buhay natin. There's a moment, prayer ko talaga every night is give us breath tomorrow. And pagkagising ko, pag natutulog ako, bago ako didilat ng mata, there's a moment na sasabihin ko kay Lord, Lord, saan ako gigising? Tapos pag dilat ko ng mata ko, parang, okay, nasa earth pa ako. Alam mo yun na parang, I'm still alive. I still get to be with my family. Kaya this time, sobrang miracle na you have a house. I don't want to make this sound so cheesy, ha. I don't want to make this sound so cliche. I don't want to make this sound toxic positivity or something. But it's really, it hits me in a different way. How I can eat, how I have a job, I have my family, na gigising ako, wala akong simptomas. Alam mo yun? Like, sobrang relief ka na hindi masakit yung ulo mo, wala kang fever, stuff like that. So, it's in the little things. And I'm very kwan kasi, Ma'am Bebs. Ha?
Yeah, it's in the little things. I love that line.
Yeah. And I really love nature. Sabi nga ni Jonathan Edwards, nature is God's greatest evangelist. So, parang every time I see the sunset, Lord, ang saya, parang gano'n. So, it's in everything, actually.
Okay, so next question. What is your life advice to the 18-year-old you? Like, with all the knowledge, experiences that you have now.
Yeah. 18 years old, second year college tayo lang. Nangyari ng college. Siguro I tell my 18-year-old self to take things lightly. To take things lightly, to take things slowly, and that it's true. It doesn't take much to be accepted and loved. You don't have to work hard for it.
Wow. What is God telling you now? Itong moment na to, here and now.
God is telling me that I see it. Kasi diba parang now, not just now, but ever since March siguro, sobrang grabe yung anxiety, grabe yung fear. Ramdam na ramdam mo eh. It's in everything. It's in everybody. So parang I think God is telling me now na I'm greater. I see it. I'm not pacing in my throne. Hindi ako aligaga, Ashley. Hindi ako kinakabahan na may virus, na ang dami nangyayari sa gobyerno or something. I'm not worried. I'm seated on my throne. I am sovereign. I think yun yung sinasabi niya sa akin.
Last question.
Yes.
Passion or purpose and why?
Ay. Parang ano to? Ano na fast talk? I think I cannot categorically answer either. I think it goes both ways. Kasi for example, your purpose will fuel your passion. But also, there are certain passions in our heart that God planted there in order for us to know what His purpose for our lives are. It's just a matter of Him just sanctifying it and purifying it. For example, like I love words. I have a passion for words talaga. I have a passion for writing. So I asked the Lord, is this from you? Is this something that you want me to use for your glory? Kasi I don't think na there are certain wants naman and passions in our lives that are planted there because you will use that to bring glory to the Lord. So I think magkasama siya. It's not an either or thing.
Wow. Okay, fuels one another. Wow. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Welcome. Yes. Thank you, Mom.
Lost for words. Thank you so much, Miss Ashley. Yeah. I feel, ayun, sobrang dami kong takeaways. Yan, ang dami kong pabaon. Lalo na yung Ash, ang tawag dito, yung alam mo yung sagot niya. Minsan nagpe-pray ako. Tapos sabi ko, anong sagot mo, God? Anong sagot mo? Yeah. Although minsan kahit alam mo yung may sagot na siya, pero pag hindi ko trip yung sagot, parang next na question pa, baka naghahanap lang ako ng sagot, pero hindi yan yung sagot niya. Pero next day, yun pa din, parang,
Yun pa din, yeah. At saka, kuwan pala, every time we pray for something, and then we feel na sumagot siya, we can always ask for confirmation. Alam mo kung hindi ka sigurado, di ba? Like, Lord, pa-confirm nga na ikaw talaga to. Like, there's actually...
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, may Bible character, si Gideon. Sobrang sa Old Testament. Sobrang nakarelate ako sa kanya. Kasi may sinabi si Lord sa kanya na gawin niya. Tapos nagda-doubt talaga siya kasi anxious si Gideon. Nagda-doubt siya. Sinasabi niya, Lord, ikaw ba to? Kung ikaw talaga to, the next day, gawin mo to. Tapos, syempre, ginawa ni Lord. Tapos, hindi pa rin siya tumigil. Sabi niya, Lord, hindi ko pa rin talaga alam kung ito. So, humingi ulit siya. Tapos, naging faithful naman si Lord to send him. To send him confirmation. So, ipa-confirm mo lang na ipa-confirm. Hanggang alam ko that the Lord is with you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ashley. Very good afternoon with you.
Thank you so much. As in, sobrang thank you.